Your Psychic Astro-Cast by YILDIZ Readings 5D, your psychic medium, soul coach, and intuitive astrologer online. Do you want it all in one place? Are you tired of getting less and really wanting more? Are you ready for a better ride? The First Wives Club says it best: don't get mad, get everything. If you're ready for your guidance from point A to point B in love, career, wellness, and more, join our Psychic Astro-Cast with YILDIZ Readings 5D. Let's get your life roadworthy and ready for success. Get it all with psychic updates, intuitive astrology, soul coaching, and more. Information is power. Welcome to our Psychic Astro-Cast online with YILDIZ Readings 5D. Yes, we are going to dive into the what, why, where, when, and how, and have a look at what's coming up this month to best navigate it. We'll first look back at last month to make some sense and context of it, and then into the must-know transits for the month. Yes, we have all areas covered. You can stream forward and stream back to the area of concern, and please feel free to visit us online at yildizreadings.com for your VIP edition. These are covered bi-monthly, and yes, as I mentioned, in the future, these may become a weekly edition. Now, those of you that are keen to really understand what went down last month to help you best navigate moving forward, especially if you were really up in your head to do with a particular area in your life, I'm going to help you make some context of that. Separately, we're then going to get straight into the updates for the big boy transits for the month of July 2022. If you do wish to, you can stream forward into the section that you find is most interesting or important to you at this point in time. Without further ado, let's take a look down memory lane. Now, yes, we did have quite a heavy transit last month, and especially due to the fact we were having a double Mercury retrograde. Even though it did go direct by the 3rd, shadow direct, it was a double Mercury retrograde. And during Mercury retrogrades, as we all know, they can be quite tedious. This one, being a double whammy, did cause a lot of conflict. We may have seen in the collective, in our working environment, lack of staff, extra burdens with their schedules, stress levels, and conflict mentally and physically. We had a full moon on the 14th in Sagittarius. Now, yes, this again did take us back to the past, all the way back to the eclipse season in 2021. So if you can remember back, very much linking to when we had a Venus retrograde, we did have an eclipse in Sagittarius. So psychically, I was picking this would feel a little bit like an eclipse, and it was because it was ending that cycle. So if you can think back to 2021 and situations that you personally were dealing with, you were closing that cycle. Now, Neptune also was gearing up, ready to go retrograde by the 28th of July. This did come very close to that new moon in Cancer, which are the themes that we will be moving into the month of July 2022 with. The other thing I can say is, due to the fact we are so close at the end of the month moving into July with that, those are themes that will continue into the month of July 2022. This can be a time where things become very transparent, very realistic. Initially, we may experience it and feel a little bit disillusioned, unsafe, and projectile. So, forewarned, forearmed. Now, the must-know for July 2022, as mentioned previously, is the recovery of Neptune retrograde. During that cycle, in the area of Pisces, you will be quality assuring and taking a very realistic approach. Retrogrades don't have to be negative. They're a time of introspection and adjustment. This month, we have a full moon in Capricorn and a new moon in Leo. We also have Juno, the asteroid of marriage, moving retrograde, which can at a collective level cause triggers within relationships, be it you're single or couple. Those blasts from the past, like Venus retrograde, can occur. I'm hosting a webinar on the 12th if you want that added support. Moreover, this does retrograde on the 24th of July. Deep healing, we do have Aries in Chiron moving retrograde on the 19th of July. This also can be a time where we can reflect, we can heal, and we can gain extra courage to deal with any of those emotional challenges. Jupiter also by the 19th will move retrograde. When it does come to expansion, transformation, and jumping in the deep end, we may feel that we're going backwards. Now, this doesn't have to be a negative thing. This can be a time within our charts and within our lives where we are reflecting and quality assuring those actions and steps forward for 2024. Hi, beautiful singles. Yes, we're here to do your Astro-Cast update for the month of July 2022. Now, these do come in 2 volumes. We are covering the first 2 weeks of July 2022. Now, this is the freemium. I do have a VIP subscription. If you do want to view it, you can get it through the website. I have changed these so they're podcasts. That way we can listen to them, we can click and play. Now, what I do see coming up for you individually in the first week is you could feel loved up and know where to go. Emotionally, because we did just have Neptune go retrograde, you personally could be going through a change. Sometimes it can feel a little bit like an identity crisis and you can feel a little bit disillusioned. Ease into it and try and trust the process. With the new moon in Cancer, it does also link to the 5th house. Inner child for you at an emotional level can come up. I do go into the chakra balance through the VIP reports. The one tip I will give you is balance your inner child, and that can be through drinking lemon juice, chamomile tea, dancing, singing, and getting that vibration high. I do see with the inner child we can do solar plexus and sacral chakra, and that's really going to help you in this process. This is going to be a time of really boosting self-esteem, and I do see through the Mars transit in Aries, through your 2nd house, you can be quite verbal. You also can be gaining financially. Now, as Mars moves into the house of Taurus, for those of you that are feminine, inside of our own birth charts, any Mars placement is usually what we seek in another person. Currently, the North Node is in Taurus. You, in an identity sense, can again be quite vocal with this energy. Also, it can bring about a lot of thoughts. You also could get some emotions coming up due to information that you hear. It is a time that blasts from the past can come. That's because of our pending Juno retrograde further in the month. Now, by the 2nd week, we are having the moon transit Scorpio. This can be very passionate. Also, your ideals can come up. As we move closer to that full moon, it's really important to be careful of how you speak to individuals. There could be a circumstance that calls accountability. You also could be looking at some of your pastimes. This can be a change in diet and health. And I do see this social energy could be bringing new people into your life. Some of you are going to feel as though you want to be connected to tribe, but you also don't want to carry the whole world on your shoulders. Couples, this can be an extremely fertile time. And those of you with children, there could be emotions coming up to do with it. It also could be a super romantic time. Now, at a personal level, we did have Neptune go retrograde. So you might be in your head a little bit and you could be on the communication level for the first 3 days. You could be a little bit volatile. So just be aware of that to keep that communication factor smooth sailing. Now, as we move to the 5th, we're having Mars move into the house of Taurus. This also can bring a lot of talks up. If you're very tense, later in the month we are having Juno retrograde. Juno is the marriage asteroid. Juno does test relationships, be it single or couple. This also can bring memories and people from the past back, very similar to a Venus retrograde. It is going to retrograde for approximately 11 weeks. I do have a webinar online should you wish to join us at YILDIZreadings.com, wherever you're listening to this. Now, you also might have a big gathering. This can be quite social, moving towards the full moon in Capricorn. Now, the moon does transit into the house of Capricorn on the 12th and then through to the full moon on the 13th. This will link back to 2020 where we had the Great Conjunction, especially more so because we do have Pluto retrograde. Bear in mind it could be a tense day. Try and be patient. Try and complete those tedious tasks. Moreover, group-related dynamics could be filled with a little bit of conflict. You might not be on the same page as other individuals, so have patience. Another thing that can be happening is you may be going for a loan. This can be a testing time. You also could get a pay rise. You individually transiting through Juno may be looking at your ideals and whether both parties are on the same page. Juno can be a time of separation, so pre-warned, forearmed. Let's have a look at your career, Pisces. I do, inside the VIP membership, cover those of you who are running a business. More so, especially because we did just have the new moon in Cancer last month, and very much it will relate to home-based businesses. There can be new themes to do with such coming up, especially to do with inner child security, wellness, and home. And for you transiting through the fifth house in your career sector, you can have a lot to do. You also might feel like you're cramming homework. You may need to, in the first week, be patient with yourself. You can feel more agitated, and especially with superiors this month. I do see benefits coming in at a financial level, but it will be through hard work and effort. Some of you could get news, especially of a pay rise. Pisces, in your wellness sector, it's important to be careful of emotional eating. Also of pacifiers, due to the fact that Neptune is transiting through your zodiac sign and it's in retrograde. However, Juno, which is very Venus in orientation, hasn't quite retrograded yet. So if we haven't had the ball drop and had the revelation of habits that we need to kick, this will be the month that comes about where it brings it up. Jupiter transiting your second house can be increasing cravings. Although it does increase your net worth, it also can increase your cravings and, unfortunately, the waistline. During its retrograde, you may be able to get back on track, but pre-warned later in the year, as it goes direct, it moves back into the house of Pisces, which then can have you set free from that transit, but very separately can still have the same kind of outcome. We do later, as we move into 2024, have it move back into position into the house of Aries again. Yes, you also could be super fertile. So pre-warned, forearmed. Very separately, this can be a time that you can get a little bit run down. It's important to clear your homes with Neptune retrograde and to be careful of the people that you are involving yourself with, especially in the 2 weeks. If you can clear your crown chakra and go on a little bit of a detox, it may benefit you during this time. Okay, now here is your mini psychic update. Now, the one message I am getting is, for some of you, you could have a crush. There could be somebody that you're deeply connected to and you want to express how you feel about them, but you may be in a predicament where you can't. And I do feel this Dutch courage coming through. I also feel with the individuals around you, you feel something is changing and shifting. This also could be a change in a friendship group. So be careful with that, especially moving towards the second part of the week. Now, I am seeing separately a left or right. I do feel you might talk to a friend quite candidly, and this is somebody you really, really trust. But I do see you going through a transition at the moment. There could be, for some of you, a heated argument that ends quite badly. But I feel whatever road you're going, this has been something that has been lingering for a while. So if you do have a falling out with someone, it potentially is for the best. It doesn't mean to say that you may never talk to this person again, but I think it's airing that laundry. I feel you're making a cemented plan. There could be some things that you need to do that you really can't be bothered to do right now, just this motivation. But whatever this big change is, I think it's due to the emotions that it's preventing you from getting in and tucking in and getting those things done. So I think if you step back and you take a breath and you write a list and you go, right, I'm going to action these plans, I think you're going to get the best out of it. Anyway, we will see you for Volume 2, should you wish to join us. Otherwise, you can visit us at YILDIZreadings.com for all your holistic needs. Take care, beautifuls. Thanks for joining us, Psychic Astro-Cast online with YILDIZ Readings 5D. If you haven't downloaded the app, please do so. Yes, you can actually get your posts on the go. Bookings, webinars, updates, notifications, and more. We also provide YouTube notifications if you didn't know. Yes, we will see you for each edition online with YILDIZ Readings, potentially more to come. Have a blessed month.